I had my own story, just of my own life, my own upbringing, my own background, and divorced parents and all that type of thing. Growing up in inner city of Los Angeles, struggling, all of that. I was a teenage parent when I was young. My son was born like a month after my 16th birthday. Probably like all people, there's a time when there is no money, and then there's money, and then there's no money again. It's kind of how life works out. But I remember there was a time early on there was no money. And I think because of that, I really wanted to be very successful. I didn't know how to be successful. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do it. So I continued learning on my own, did tons of trainings, attended tons of seminars, spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in self-help, on books and seminars. I mean, you name it, I did it because I wanted to change my life. And it did work, over time. It was just like building a muscle. You have to keep working it. I was on a huge upswing. Business was going great. Life was great. I remember I was 25 years old at the time, and I was making over $250,000 a year. And I remember I did what any normal 25-year-old kid would do. I bought cars and big screen TVs and, went to Vegas probably way too many times, more than I had to. But that was my life at the time. At 25 years old, I was living it up. I remember I bought a yellow Ferrari. I guess I wanted people to recognize me or pay attention to me. And I never forget this one day. I pulled up at a light. Normally, if you're in a yellow Ferrari, people tend to notice you. And they weren't looking at me. And I look over at the car next to me, which looked like to be the husband and the wife, and there was 2 kids in the back seat. And they had this little dog. The kids are laughing and the parents are just looking over, and they just looked like they were having such a good time. And I remember, I never forget this feeling of looking over and being jealous. Like, here I am, this kid, I'm at the top of what I thought was my life then, and I look over at these people probably living a totally average life. And I was very jealous of that because that was missing. My life was nothing like that. It was definitely not average. And that's when I realized that I was rich financially, what I thought at the time, but very broke emotionally. And that began my journey, my search to look for something more.